What's up, everybody? I am Mike Somich coming at you for RacingDudes.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about beating favorites and how to try and really exponentially push the value of pick fours and pick fives that you're playing. A lot of people have asked me questions about this ticket structure and how to kind of make sure that your tickets have a positive EV long term. And we had a big time hit for the Somobomb, product that I offer on the website Thursday through Sunday. It happened this Saturday. Here's the ticket that I'm going to throw up. I paid $5,000 for myself and everyone else that played it on the Somobombs. And the key here is that we beat 4 of the 5 favorites. Now, Charge It wins the third leg, 1 to 5, short price. But because we got numbers around him, we were able to really blow the ticket up. And one of the keys was in that first leg, and that's what we're going to talk about here today, because this is a type of favorite that I love to try and beat. And going 3 deep in that first leg and not playing the favorite, who was even money, allowed us to go 5 deep in those last 2 legs, which allowed us to get to that 12 horse in the 4th leg, but it was 20 to 1 morning line, went off and won at 11 to 1, and really kind of continue to just blow the value up on this ticket. So let's check out this first leg. This is race 6 on Saturday from Belmont. We're going to look at the favorite and why this is a good horse to try and fade and one of my favorite types of favorites to play against. All right, so here's our favorite from race 6 on Saturday at Belmont, the 2-horse Endowed. This is one of those classic play against for me. So this race was a $50,000 starter allowance. So it's horses that were in for a claiming price and going up. This time, Endowed was the only horse coming in facing winners. You saw that 9 to 5 morning line. You got Christophe Clement, Flavien Prat. This horse was going to get hammered. It was going to go off around even money or less. That's exactly what happened. But what you're really betting on this horse is that it's first time facing winners, which is the toughest thing to do. Going from maiden claiming to non-winners 1 allowance, or maiden claiming to a starter allowance like this, or maiden special weight up to N1X competition is the toughest thing in racing to do. It's the biggest class jump that you're generally going to see, and that's exactly what Endowed was doing. So you see that first race back in November, nothing spectacular, drops down to maiden claiming and beats a field of 5, and basically goes gate to wire beating that field of 5 and does it rather easily. And when you look at the time, 112 for 6 furlongs, but 139.01 for a mile. Not a very good time, small field, heavy favorite. And now we're going to come back and face winners for the first time where you have to have improvement to beat the rest of the field. And really, that's not that impressive of a maiden special weight race. Or maiden claiming race. I love playing against these type of horses, first time out against winners that are going to get way over bet, because that number, if it improves, will beat the field. But the likelihood for it to improve is not as high as a second-time starter facing maiden special weight competition again. Because on that day, Endowed had everything his own way. And that's why he was able to put that type of number up. It's going to be a different case on a day like Saturday when you're facing winners for the first time. Now, let's dig a little bit deeper into that field of 5s just to show you why this was a great horse to play against. All right, now we're looking at the specific chart for the race that Endowed won in that $40,000 maiden claimer to break his maiden. So now for a couple things that pop out to me. First off, this is clearly a 4-horse race, not a 5-horse race. 20 to 1 shot, never gets out of last place. So let's look at the other 4 horses. Endowed was 1.5 to 1. You got 3.8 to 1, 3.3 to 1, 2.2 to 1. So pretty evenly matched there. You can see that Endowed got out well and was able to just kind of run away from the field. Ends up winning by 4, had IRAD up, so obviously a very good jockey. It will just run away from everybody else. But the key is let's just where that field structure is and the odds of those other horses, because they've all run back. So now let's take a look at how they've done when they've run back, because that's a key in when you're trying to fade one of these favorites. All right, now we're looking at the next race for each one of these horses. And you can see Endowed came back in that allowance, ends up running second, got an 81 buyer. So did improve a little bit, but still not enough to be able to get the job done. The horses behind it, you've got one next out winner. That would be the horse Nobody Rides for Free. But the key there is that horse went into a maiden special weight at Finger Lakes, so still had to take a class drop out of Belmont to be able to get the job done, and was a 60 cent on the dollar favorite. The horses that finished 2nd and 3rd, No Code and North Pole, both ran July 1st, the day before Endowed ran. Both of them were disappointing. So No Code goes off at $2.30, ends up finishing 4th. North Pole goes off around 10 to 1, ends up finishing 3rd. So you have 2 disappointing horses right behind him. One that had to go to Finger Lakes to be able to break its maiden as a heavy favorite. And then the 5th horse down there, Kajin, who was never really involved in the race, comes back, never really involved in maiden 20,000. So this was a weak race that Endowed was able to go gate to wire on, giving him a little bit of an inflated figure and allowing him to go off as an even money favorite in a race that we were easily able to fade him in. So when you take all of that into account, you've now found a very good favorite to play against. It didn't just happen on Saturday. It helped in a pick 6 sequence the weekend before when there was a 7 horse that went off at even money that ended up getting beat by a 5 that went at 5 to 2. I know we had a couple subscribers that scored off that because we had the 5 on top as well. So it's key when you were looking for these favorites to try and beat. Try and target maiden special weight horses going up to N1X. Try and target maiden claimers going up to allowance company or N1X, and that's a great way to try and find favorites to beat because they're taking a big time class jump, and a lot of times they didn't beat that much, and that's really the key. If there's not much in the race that they beat, and now they're taking on winners, they shouldn't be even money. They could be a likely winner, but endowed should have been like 2-1, 5-2, something like that. And when you get an even money horse like that, especially in the first leg of a sequence that gets way over bet, way over singled, if you're able to fade it, it gives you more coverage later in a ticket, and it also allows the payouts to really get juiced up. And that's how we were able to get this $5,000 ticket home, is we were able to fade that even money favorite in the first, beat the favorite in the second, and then spread in those last 2 legs to find prices because we didn't use horses we didn't need to in the early legs. It's always better to fade a favorite than defensively use it if you're able to, if you're willing to lose the ticket and you're able to get that later coverage, which is always important when you're trying to get big time tickets home. Make sure you subscribe to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel for more videos just like this. You can check out racingdudes.com/handicapping products. If you want to find the Somobombs, they're available Thursday through Friday. You get the tickets that I play on racetracks that I am specifically playing. Make sure you check out all the videos here as well as the live shows that we're doing. We'll see you at the track.